your family, and your community. Vocal Frontline, we do not sugarcoat, just straight talk and solutions. Vocal Frontline is not just a radio talk show, it is a movement. Join the conversation and be part of the change you see. Tune in to Vocal 105.3 FM, Monday to Friday from 7:30 to 10:30 a.m. Stay informed, stay engaged. Vocal Frontline, the front line of national discourse, where Liberia's future is the focus.
Okay, fellow Liberians, welcome to the Friday, August 21, 2026 edition of the program Focal Frontline. It's always a pleasure to be here every morning from 7:30 to 10:30 in the morning. It is part of our exercise, our commitment that we do in terms of trying to provide all the kind of requisite information to the Liberian populace. So it's good to be back here this morning, Musa Sherry. Good morning, Musa.
Yeah, good morning, Lena. Good morning, fellow Liberian. It's good to be here this morning, talking about too many issues happening in our country. I'm happy to be here this morning as a co-host to you.
All right, Musa, thank you. So, Cornelius Barclay, one of the lead hosts of this program, isn't very good when it comes to his health. So he levels in charge. He levels in charge to be able to coordinate the activity. But next week, it is our hope that he can recover very fast. It's not a major health issue, but it is just the issue with the core. This is a glaring fact that when we are in the rain season, there are lots of different health complications due to the core, due to the cold weather. But it's actually a very good thing to be back here this morning, to talk about some very trending issues in our country. So we want to talk about the Andy Jala Foundation. The Andy Jala Foundation is our lifelong sponsor, and they are the sponsors of all of the flagship program on the radio from Focal Frontline. This program we are currently on to the Heat of the Nation, another flagship program, the news, and all the very critical radio program and institutional radio program. So they have been doing very magnanimous in terms of giving out the support. They have always been giving in terms of empowering us, and also always come to you live via the radio stations and via the televisions as well. So the Andy Jala Foundation has been very pivotal in terms of its support for the operationalizations of the radio stations. So the Andy Jala Foundation is a humanitarian organization, and they are involved into several other humanitarian interventions in the country, including education. So their scope of operation is not only limited to providing humanitarian services. It extends far beyond just the provision of humanitarian services uh, to other very critical program. Currently, this year, the Andy Robert Jala Foundation is running multiple program. Multiple program. Have since started, and the foundation, as usual, is supporting most of these programs, ensuring that it serves the larger Liberian public. It serves the larger Liberian public, from the kids reading program to the valedictorian program to other program. The foundation intends to launch in the coming days, and so forth. So the Andy Brover Jala Foundation uh, is a very unique organization. It's a very unique organization, especially given its different scope of functions, be it in the humanitarian space in terms of serving humanity, be a its commitment in terms of changing the educational narratives in the district. Mind you, you have an organization that has been very supportive in terms of education, providing scholarship, financial aid program to underprivileged. You know that's good of an organization to be doing. If we have multiple of these organizations doing things such as the way the Andy Jala Foundation is doing, then I think we as Liberians, we could be writing, a kind of a chapter geared towards making meaningful advancement in our country. Yeah, so the Andy Jala Foundation continue to remain very committed in what they do. In the future, the foundation has a lot of different programs in this plan, and those programs have been worked upon, and it's just a matter of time, I'm told, and these programs will definitely be launched to the public. So yes, so aside from the Andy Robert Jala Foundation, which is our lifelong sponsor, we have another sponsor, Marie Magad. Marie Magad is a health supplement. It's a very effective health supplement. I'm not trying to hip it because uh, they are the sponsor of our flagship program, but based on numerous of testimony, numerous of testimony from Liberians about the effectiveness of of the supplement. Mary Magai, it deals with all forms of medical complication. Medical complication. It's a very effective health supplement. It deals with all forms of medical complications. So we encourage you uh, to uh, to buy Mary McGuide, and in order to address fundamentally some of the health complications that you are having, be it stomach constipation, be it weak erections and other medical conditions you are grappling with. We encourage you to patronize Mary Magai. So let's listen to Mary Magai. But before going over to Mary Magai, we are in the process of also we are in the process of accepting more sponsorship. It's a win-win situation whenever you bring your business, and this is specifically to those of you who are so much desirous of seeing or seeing your business, boom, trying to boost your revenue profile. So in order to boost your revenue profile, our platform or the other shows are available, in terms of boosting your revenue profile. So let's go over to our sponsor, Mary McGuy, to bring you their jingle right here for you.
The people that used to sell Mary McGuy hot tea medicine all over in Lofa, Nimba, and Dallas-Bone counties. The people finally now settled down in Moserado County.
Cutwell Road after the Stockton Creek Bridge. Cutting tree right at the old CDC hair office.
The Mary McGuy hot tea medicine here. People in Lofa, people in Bone counties have been buying the Mary McGuy hot tea medicine. People with terrible sicknesses, and most of them have been healed and been giving testimony about the Mary McGuy hot tea medicine and how cool it is. Finally, the people now settled down in Moserado County here. In Moserado County here, Monrovia, Liberia, the people, when you go to Bonafa, opposite Makumba, Bindle tissue factory, right beyond the block factory, you will see the people office that they Mary McGuy hot tea people. They're going to be sending the Mary McGuy hot tea to you. And if you want to buy this Mary McGuy hot tea medicine, that's small money. If you buy the medicine here, you take all of the dose, my sister, my brother, all of the sicknesses you've been suffering with going to be cured. This medicine they call Mary McGuy hot tea can take away or kill all kinds of sicknesses. And some of the sicknesses that the Mary McGuy hot tea medicine can cure are typhoid fever. Every time you're feeling cold in your body, you're feeling sick, infection, stomach complaint. Every day you complain about your stomach. You say, my stomach hurting, my mama's stomach hurting, my wife, my stomach hurting. Even women that cannot see their period, the medicine they call Mary McGuy hot tea can solve it. The sexual weakness, you can't do your homework, you come out working, or you go somewhere, you come back home, you can't do your homework. Your woman tells you say, by living man, sexual weakness in both men and women, they Mary McGuy hot tea, they can cure it. Numbness in the body, eye problem. Every time you complain with your eye, you can't see clear. They Mary McGuy hot tea can solve it, they can cure it. Also, every time you complain with your stomach pointing, you can't eat pepper, you can't eat this one. Also, they Mary McGuy hot tea can solve it, they can cure it. Rheumatism, back pain. Every time you complain with your back, my back hurting, pain in my back, Mary McGuy hot tea medicine can cure it. Diabetes, the sugar problem, this Mary McGuy hot tea can cure it. Skin disease and many more. Mary McGuy hot tea medicine can cure all these problems. Here are some of the testimonies of people that Mary McGuy hot tea medicine has cured, and today they are free and living happily.
My name is David Galima. I live in Columbus. I've done well from Monday to this Monday, making it 1 week. The first of all, I've had the 3 avenues. Now, even if they have taken me more than 5 years, I don't think my own food was but it me the way I'm sweating heat. But I mean, on fire, I think I will go over and I'm fine about it. And also, even my outside, I'm not too flat. But at midnight, I can see a distance, see very clear. And also, as a man, I'm really active, physically active. I play my dream number 1. I used to always play weakness in the defense, but now I've grown. I'm back in even in the defense, go still and come back. Which is my sexual organ is very active. As a young man, I'm really sure all of my situation I've been having my weight. Everything's free. This medicine is very good. It's natural. It's very good. You don't have any side effects, but it's good. When it's effect.
She almost died. We sent my people in the game. And when I hear them, you so many air. But thank you. She well, she was saying she was not working with the same church. So I played for the coming here. Gave the testimony. So they blessing. I asked them to hear with. Even my brother testimony because she was not working, she was not working. When they did testimony, people see what about the not when you come here for the medicine. So the medicine by the twin girls. Oh, yes, this one working. They're doing for months. She was not coming first, but now she got washed, she going back to the day for second.
Okay.
I was something for 7 years, going up and down, no way. When I heard about you, I go to Oya about the menacing concern. I buying this menacing. I feeling healthy than they were before. So my people who listen to me, this menacing, that good menacing, that make me to be alive today. God, the first, second, this menacing. So what kinds of segment you're suffering from? Food problem. Food, yeah, my food problem. Lord, I was working. You said 7 years, right? 7 years. Okay, thank you. You are welcome. And where now?
Rush now and buy this medicine, Marie Maga hot tea.
For more information, contact us on the following numbers: 0887 316666 and 0777 4445 91.
So rush now and you will live happily.
All right. So in addition to the information you listened to with regard to the very critical message contained in the ad, we, based on the request from some many people with regard to supplement, our business office has contacted Mary Mackay Horty Supplement, the entity involved in the productions of the supplement. Mind you, this is the only Liberian health supplement that has been recognized, that has been duly recognized by the Ministry of Health. So they have all of their documents, all of their papers, their legal papers, you know, to do what they are doing. So we do have the supplement at our business office, and our radio station is located at Battery Factory. So once you come out of the radio station, obviously you go directly to the marketing department, and they will definitely serve you with the products, you know, or with the supplement. So yes, too many things to talk about. I just see a couple of minutes ago, they just received a statement from the National Patriotic Party, or the party of former Vice President, you know, and she is the political leader of that party, you know. In Liberia, after elections, the chairman of the party becomes the most powerful man. He runs the day-to-day affairs of the party. So during, you know, during post-electionary period, the chairman of the party is largely involved with the, you know, with the running affairs of the party. He does a lot of, you know, some very critical matter with regard to the party's growth. He designs a lot of the program geared towards, you know, keeping the party structures very active. But during the period, during the electionary period, that is when you see the political leader, you know, the political leader is given a space, you know, in terms of being very active, and you know, in terms of rolling out some very strategic programs of the party alongside with other members of the party. So let's read for you let's read for you. Somebody's saying we should read it. Did I don't know what specifically yeah, check it out, Musa. Anthony George Morbad, the national chairman of the National Patriotic Party, issued a statement. It says, the statement read, the National Patriotic Party has taken note of the arrest of a stand-up burial, Madam Joel Howard Taylor, by the government of Liberia, and subsequent charges brought against her, including allegations of money laundering and other related offenses. The party wishes to make clear its respect and support the government's efforts to combat illicit drug trade and to dismantle drug trafficking networks in Liberia. The MPP remains committed to cooperating fully with the ongoing investigation and to ensuring the fight against drug is conducted in accordance with the rule of law. However, during the arrest of Madam Joel Howard Taylor, the party observed certain procedural concerns which in its view do not sufficiently take into consideration her status as former vice president of the Republic of Liberia and a citizen who does not, on the face of circumstances, present a flight risk. As a matter of courtesy and respect for her former constitutional office, the party believes authority who have employed a less intrusive approach, such as communicating with her by telephone or through a formal written notice, rather than resorting to what appeared to be an unnecessarily harsh manner of arrest. The MPP recognizes the seriousness of the charges brought against Madam Taylor and acknowledges the government position regarding the applicable bail. The party calls upon the government to consider placing her on house arrest or another appropriate form of custodial arrangement that will allow her to attend or require court proceeding while receiving the necessary medical care. The MPP reiterates its support for the government efforts to combat drug-related crimes. At the same time, the party maintains that while the investigation and prosecution of serious offenses must be pursued vigorously, the right, dignity, health, and physical well-being of every accused person must also be respected and protected under the Liberian law. The party therefore calls upon the government to ensure an impartial and speedy trial, giving Madam Taylor a full, fair opportunity to defend herself and, where appropriate, exonerate herself of the allegation against her. Meanwhile, the party calls on all its partisans and supporters to remain calm and peaceful. The party's executive committee will convene to deliberate on the matter and consider other appropriate options available under the laws of Liberia. Signed, Anthony George S. Moba, National Chairman and National Patriotic Party. So the party is saying that they too, as a political party, as a full-fledged, as a nationally recognized political party, they are aware of the ongoing fight against drugs in the country and they support this national fight. But just as we stated on yesterday with regard to the unprofessional conduct exhibited by members of the Liberian National Police. The reason why we disagree with the initial process, the initial process characterized by the form and manner in which the former vice president was treated. I was specifically looking, I am not saying she is immune from investigation. That has never been my argument. That has never been my argument. My argument has been this woman has over time served in different portfolios, very respectable portfolios in the country. If at all the joint security may have kept her under surveillance and wanted her presence to be able to facilitate with the investigation, because initially she was person of interest, before the charges were thrown, against her. They should have politely or professionally communicate with the former vice president. Communicate with the former vice president. Ask her that you are invited at the headquarters of the police to be able to face investigators. The former vice president, who has an orientations in legality, who has an orientations in terms of understanding how the law works, because she's not a stranger to government, and to a larger extent she understands how the law works. She will have informed her lawyer, but then at the airport, they created a form of unnecessary situation. They created a form of unnecessary situation. From the onset, her rights were never been, respected, including her status in society. It was never being respected. And this is why most of the political actors, none of them had disagreed that, the majority of them, none of them had disagreed that the vice president should not be subjected to an investigation. Most of them, have disagreed. But what many of them are saying is that the initial handling of the process, especially from the government, is what is creating the political optics. The political optics is a level, if you knew that you have kept the vice president on a national security surveillance, and you needed her presence, why not extend an invitation to the former vice president and speak, and call her for questioning with regard to some of the things you may have gathered over the period of time. But specifically to the charges, Musa, do you have the charges in your possession? Let's read the charges and make an analysis about the charges, the different charges, fellow Liberians, and what does the charges, what is the interpretation of the charges? What does it mean? And especially considering the fact that we are discussing a very concerning drug situations in the country. What does the charges mean? Because those are very, very grave charges being leveled against the former vice president. Being levied against the former vice president. I see a lot of folks, writing on their social media page, You know, one of the things I have with our society is the fact that a lot of the people I saw political in the country. The country is politically infested. People usually don't see things from a different perspective. People don't usually see, you know, serious minded issue from a different perspective. You know, they always see things from their political, from their political lens, which is unfair. And this is not unique to a particular political party. This is not unique to a particular political party. I remember a few years back when the former president was when the former president was in power, George Weah, the then opposition community, every other thing in the country when it has to do with legal issue, it will be politicized. Sometimes I wonder as to whether our country will ever get away, or we will ever experience hygiene when it comes to how issues, very critical issues that matter to the viability and reputation of our country usually are politicized. The drug issue now has been wildly politicized, not specifically from this government, but from the Weah Taylor administration. And to a larger extent, the drug situation became a national conversation in the country. And if you are to do a tour of evaluations about the most recent elections we held in the country, which has to do with the 2023 election, the folks in the Unity Party canvassed vehemently on this drug issue, and most of their campaign music, it was about drugs. Do you remember some of their music, right, Musa? The coach killing us, look at them, so those were things they said. Now, they have their overall goal, even though there were very concerning issues about drug situations in the country, and Liberians expected the former president to take action to many of these, many of those issues that were happening in the country. In their mind, in the minds of many Liberians, the president did not take action as they wanted him to have taken actions in terms of substantially addressing the drug situations in the country. So the outcome of the election was very unfavorable for the former president, and the Liberian people went to work, went to the pool, and elected former vice president, now president of the country, Joseph Boakai, who has said to the Liberian people that the economy was terrible, the economy was in a drastic state of decline. Several other present national security issues were of immediate concern, and the people voted for the former vice president. But specifically, just read the charges out, and what does it mean? Those are very grave charges. Grave charges. Grave charges. These charges being levied against the former vice president of the country are not just ordinary charges. They are very grave charges. And it has a lot of interpretation. It has a lot of interpretation, even though the fact that the government has charged the former vice president of the Republic of Liberia does not mean that automatically she's guilty, right? But we want to give you an interpretation. What does that, what does those charges say? In the broader, in a broader understanding, what does it mean? What does it say? You got it? Yeah, okay. So those are very grave charges. Money laundering, different criminal offenses, including drug-related offenses. And under our law, drug issues, the former vice president who has been charged on their government, they succeeded. She was part and parcel. She was a very unique player in William Taylor's government, the second most powerful person in the country. She may have worked with members of the legislature in terms of convincing many of the folks in the legislature to transition the drug lord from a billable status to a non-billable status. So just read the charges for us.
So the charges include the violation of Section 1485, covering the unlicensed trading, administration, dispensation, delivery, distribution, dispatch, and trafficking of controlled drugs or substances.
Those are the charges. Refer what the issue about money laundering and other things.
So the Justice Minister for certain Section 10.93 relating to illicit trafficking of controlled drugs and substances along with provisions under Chapter 10 of Liberia's Penal Code. Those provisions, according to Minister Tue, include Section 10.2 on criminal solicitation, Section 10.3 on criminal facilitation, and Section 10.4 on criminal conspiracy. The charges also reportedly include provisions under Liberia's anti-money laundering law, including Section 15.2. So that's it.
Yes, Karim, I want to specifically put out here is it. All right, look at the charges, fellow Liberian. It says Minister Twe disclosed that the charges are based on provision of Liberia's Controlled Drugs and Substances Act of 2023. The 2023 Drugs and Substances Act is the one that the former government succeeded in doing in terms of transitioning it from a billable status to a non-billable status. And what does it say? The read further, it says it includes it says controlled drugs and substances out of 2020, including section 14.83 relating to the unlicensed importation of controlled drugs and substances. It goes on to say again, including violation of section 14.85, consistent with the penal code, the penal code of the country, covering unlicensed sale, trading, administration, dispensation, delivery, distribution, dispatch, trafficking of controlled drug or substances. The Justice Minister first cited section 14.93 relating to illicit trafficking of controlled drugs and substances, along with provisions under Chapter 10 of Liberia's
Penal Code. Those provisions, according to Minister 12, include section 10.2 on criminal solicitation, section 10.3 criminal facilitation, and section 10.4 criminal conspiracy. In short, and another one is say the charges also reportedly include provision under Liberia's anti-money laundering law, including section 15.2. You know, so this is what the Ministry of Justice said, which is very key. The Ministry of Joint Security through the Ministry of Justice has disclosed that former Vice President Joel Taylor has been charged in connection with ongoing multi-million-dollar drug investigation. Speaking during a specially arranged press conference, at the Ministry of Information, Justice Minister also said the charges stem from allegation of Taylor's involvement in transnational narcotics activities within the country and even beyond the country. You know, so it means in another interpretation, what does it mean? Those charges, you know, looking at those charges from a very critical standpoint, it means that the woman is at a stage, you know, of the drug trafficking operation. It means the Ministry of Justice is saying in another interpretation, the government of Liberia is saying in another interpretation that she is at the stage, in the center stage, where over the period of time, she has managed to, stretch out her tentacle, their drug trafficking operation across, even within Liberia, they are present, and their operation is present, and even outside Liberia, their operation is visibly present. That is what the charges are saying. So it means that the woman is not, you know, consistent with the interpretation. It means that her operation, the level at which she is connected to this drug trafficking, it's not a small thing. That is just the interpretation. Those grave charges, money laundering, importation, and all of the charges being mentioned by the ministry. Those are very, very serious and concerning issue. So let's go over to what happened on yesterday. You know,
So before we go over to what happened yesterday, let's look at the press statement from the National Patriotic Party.
Mhm.
So I think for my view, I think the National Patriotic Party it makes some salient point within the release, because they are calling for prosecution rather than persecution. So that's to say they want the government, if they have all of the evidence within their possession, they should be able to prosecute the former vice president rather than politically humiliating her or giving her any harassment. So they don't want persecution without prosecution, but rather they want prosecution without persecution.
So yeah, so what you're saying is that they are far more interested in the legal process. They respect the fact that, considering the fact that the former vice president has been charged, she will have days in court. But there is why I disagree with the statement issue. There is no law on the book that provides preferential treatment, because they are saying
massive addition, because
they are saying
the MPP is saying that the former vice president, who have not been arrested, who have not been arrested, but she should have been on horse and rice.
Yeah.
That is what they are saying.
So
We cannot have a two-tier justice system.
yeah.
So what's been done to the common man should also apply to somebody, not because you are a former government official, you should be given preferential treatment. So we cannot have that full-tier justice system. So this is the case of drugs, and drug is a non-bail.
Yeah, but drug, unless unless the folks in from the National Patriotic Party can be able to specifically cite, which one of the laws on the book that say, which one of the law on the book that say, because of the vice president, because of her status, she should be on a house arrest. Maybe we are not familiar with a particular law that say it. So if all they know that, because the party claim that they are in support of the legal process, right? That is why they say they are so much concerned. They are so much concerned, just as all other Liberians are concerned about, the damaging effects of drugs in the country. They too are concerned, and they to a larger extent are endorsing the ongoing fight against drugs. But what they don't want is a selective justice, a selective approach to the drug crisis. That is what they say they are not interested in. We ourselves too, we condemn the fact that if the government is to be determined, if the government is to win the war against drugs, the government needs to be focused. The government needs to be intentional. The government needs to be inclusive in the drug investigation. They need to be very, very inclusive in the drug investigation, void of what political maneuvering, and cheating people who are connected to them on the basis of political line. I support a varied, inclusive, and comprehensive anti-drug fight. Not a one where the folks, certain people are being brought to the book and investigated and prosecuted, and while others are being exonerated from the process. That is why I don't support. So my disagreement with the National Patriotic Party stems from the fact that if the National Patriotic Party can be able to specifically point out a legal instrument that say that because of the status of the former vice president, because of the status of the former vice president, so we keep her in the house we keep her in the house arrest. So I don't think the law of our countries. I don't think the laws of our country, say the common man, the common man should be brought to the police. Why? Why high-profile government officials are given preferential treatment? I don't think so. I don't think so. So unless they can, they can point out to a particular case where, unless they can point out to a particular legal instrument that validates, the argument that the former vice president needed not to be, needed not to be brought to the headquarters of the Liberian National Police, but she needed to, to have been kept on a house arrest, and once it reaches the court process, then she can follow the court process. No, that is not how the judicial system of our country works. Unless people from the legal background can call and tell me, say, this is how it is, and be able to specifically point out a provision of the law that say S, Y, and Z. This is, we have to be very honest about, we have to be very honest about, about what we intend to do, especially if we are to achieve meaningful meaningful progress. The government is on an obligation, to ensure that the investigative process relative to this concerning drug issues in the country is inclusive. We will not sit here, and allow the investigators to carry out a process of cherry picking. That is not going to be productive for the investigations. If we want to see meaningful progress being made with regard to the drug investigation, many Liberians have consistently said, oh, we want independent investigators. That has been the public outcry from many of the major political actors in the country. Now, on yesterday, Clarence Jackson, a respected Liberian journalist, had done an inquiry at the U.S. Embassy near Monrovia, asking as to whether the news regarding the involvement of the U.S. government to this particular investigation is actually authentic. What did the U.S. Embassy, according to Clarence, what did the U.S. Embassy say? The U.S. Embassy said that agents from very sensitive security sector of the U.S. government are currently here, and they are collaborating with state security institutions, to be able to help with the ongoing drug investigation. That is a significant step. That is a meaningful step to the investigation. We already have in the country. A team of independent investigators who are here, and they are here to collaborate with what? They are here to collaborate with our domestic investigator to be able to determine the real issue in the drug fight. That has been the overwhelming call from most Liberians with regard to the drug, investigation. Oh, we want independent investigator. We want international investigator. To a large extent, America has dispatched a team of investigators to aid with the ongoing process. So now people should deactivate themselves from their political feelings. People should deactivate themselves, should move away from trying to politically opinionate on the matter. If you are very concerned about the ongoing drug situations in the country, if you are concerned about the ongoing drug in the situation in the country, just as all other Liberians are, we need not to see this drug, the fight against drug from a political standpoint.
And then the Alternative National Congress has been at the central stage of for independent investigation.
And that's why I don't agree with. Why? Many of the people say we want independent investigator. We want independent investigator. Now, let me be very honest. There is no way yes, to call for independent investigation is critical. It's important. It is going to bring, a great deal of transparency to the process. But there is no way the independent investigator, no matter what, whether they are coming from Utopia or they are coming from anywhere, there is no way the independent investigators are going to, do their job without coordination. Because first of all, the people don't know the country. They don't even understand, how the security system and the laws in the country work. So they will still need to collaborate with our domestic security institution to be able to carry out or facilitate the activity. So I don't agree that, but what I can tell you is that with the fact that the independent investigators are here and they are working with joint security to be able to get to the root cause of this particular drug situations in our country. One thing I can assure you is that after the entire assessment, they will be able to find a comprehensive report, explaining clearly to the international community, including the US government, about their own take about the investigation. Their own take about the investigation. That is why, but for you to arrive and say, oh, you say, the state security institutions are compromised. Yeah, we agree that, in recent time, several officers of the Liberian National Police have been dismissed for allegedly aiding and abetting drug trafficking. One person we can point to based on an account provided by Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman is Johnny Bola Jean. We are not the one who said it. The Inspector General of the Liberian National Police said Johnny Bola Jean, a high-ranking police officers, accepted bribes in order to provide comfort to two foreign nationals who were earlier arrested in connection to the ongoing drug fight. We are not the one who's saying it. Additionally, without Kwabo, the former chief of highway patrol, who was recently dismissed by the president of the country. So the good thing is that those who are conflicted, they have been suspended, and to a larger extent, some of them have been dismissed. So it is a very good thing for all of us to be calling for an independent investigation. But this is what we need to understand. There is no way the independent investigators can do their work, or do any kind of work without cooperating or collaborating with the domestic security institutions or the state institutions in the country. And there is no way.
No way.
What do you make of it? How do you think the foreign investigators?
Before we go to that, let's talk about this issue about the ANC. Yesterday, Ali Kenny, who is the chairman of the Authority National Congress, he makes some revelation. So Ali Kenny is saying that the ANC political leader Alexander Benedict have been making more effort when it comes to engaging with international community, international partner, to ensure that this entire thing about involving the presence of international security officers in this entire process of the judge investigation.
I can't really confirm that unless Aliyu Kiadi, who is an executive of the Alternative National Congress, can be able to specifically point to the different outreaches his political leader has made over the period of time. Do you know why? The foreign minister Sarah Besler Yanti, when she appeared a couple of days at the Ministry of Information, she said that efforts have been made. Efforts have been made to contact, partners. She outlined a long list of partners: the U.S. government, Morocco, and several other countries. She outlined that there were diplomatic outreaches made in terms of requesting their assistance with the ongoing investigation. So, with Adiu Kedi's statement, how do we reconcile? So, Adiu Kedi, politics, we need to change the paradigm of our politics, right? We actually need to change the paradigm of our politics. If you know Alexander Cummings, one thing I know for a fact is that from the onset of the investigation, Alexander Cummings had a press conference, a well-attended press conference that was televised across the country. It was widely televised, and he emphasized the critical need for us to have independent investigator helping the government with the ongoing investigation. But as to whether Alice Cummings has made some efforts with regard to contacting relevant institutions to aid us with the investigation, I cannot safely speak to that unless I see evidences to point to that particular issue. Because the foreign minister said that efforts were being made by the government of Liberia through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to request our foreign partners, to request our diplomatic partners to aid with the investigation. All right. The real issue here is that all of them are making meaningful progress, in terms of what? In terms of getting to the root cause of this particular drug situation. That's so it means that in another sense, what Adiu Kedi is saying is that the both of them, they are working, the government, both the government of Liberia and the opposition leaders who have consistently called for independent investigations are on the same path. And that's what they are saying. In another sense, in another interpretation, that is what they are saying. But with regard to the claim being made by Liu, I'm not a member of the Alternative National Congress. Neither do I support any political party. I support Party Liberia because I see Liberia as the bigger picture. We are Liberians before we become we have an alignment with a particular political institution. So anything that borders on the viability of our country, that threatens the state of our country, we should be in a position to talk about it. So let's go to the line 0770-131318, 0770-131318, 086-27-26-20, 0770-131318, 086-27-26-20, 0770-131318. Let's take this one. Hello, caller, your name and where you calling from? Yeah, good morning. Your name and where you calling from, Chief? I am far to make a point, Chief. Is it a threat? Is it a threat to the government or what? Yeah, we are also praying that the former vice president can be here. But let's hello. Yeah, good morning. Your name and where you calling for, Chief?
Thank you. Thank you so much. So,
Your line is coming. You are coming distorted.
sorry,
Yeah, you are coming on much better now.
so I've been hearing this before. So now, I think, yes, that's what you want to talk about doing well, the government. Yes, that's the most important for us. But here's what happened. I won't find the whole thing that yes, the government, it was well. That it was good point when I was still in the government. That's well. In my mind, I'm not speaking for you. Because of reason, yes, God is here, most people can send it to us. But here's what I want to say. You know what? That way, the small potatoes together with a big shot in government. Then yeah, so what is going to say? It never matters. Then when yes, the son said it's very hard to government, fast government. They started by thinking about they started arresting the police. They down with the operation. So now, yes, I mean justify. Get the justification. Yes, the justification was so that this is one of the examples of the higher that we're breaking about.
All right, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, good morning. Mohammed.
Yes, thank you. Spencer Mohammed, and I call for down coast for you, white town community. It's about concern like for justice. Later, first day like praise the control of law, not control of men. And our Lord, I claim that when it comes to oh, you can carry on classify you to be suspect, subsequently arrest you in search for detection. That's what Bible witness in the case of the former Chief Justice when she was but what was so. But what we saw you today, was one of those ones that you have to be just free, but this government is nothing for you. You will be more responsible for anything that happens to you on notice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, 0 sounds okay. Take more calls. Yeah, good morning. Your name and where you calling for, Chief?
Right.
When you start the people say they have pressure out. So you got the people from outside. They are telling our people all the information that you need to our people. Then why your class you pick up a rifle? This here. You will cry. You will cry. You will cry. You will not solve the problem here. You are calling, you are supporting it. That's what we said from the beginning, my brother. This is why I like the video here. We told them from the beginning that the woman is fighting drugs. No, the woman is fighting drugs. They want people from outside. People from outside already employing the investigation. What is bringing problems here? Because you are still not getting a security check. Then the woman go to court and claim that when the woman get away from the hospital and go to court and claim her family in the family, they will go. When we involved, you will bend the weight of the law.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, thank you, thank you. Let's take this next person. Hello, callers. Tell us anywhere you're joining us off.
Yeah. Florida John from New Georgia.
All right.
Yeah.
Good sir, good sir.
Partly is either recovery because we are missing all those terminology you not normally use. Yeah. So I want to say this morning, listening to you, right? So what they did that so Alfred Johnson from the US that he works with the police there. He was trying to say when he came to well, they said he had no control. That was what they told her. And he made us to understand when the police come to arrest you, he has to tell you for what reason you were invited. Okay? He said under the condition they presented to trial, it was optional. She would have gone or said, no, my lawyer will come because they didn't present it in that way. It's just told we have some concern and we want you to address them. That's how they did it. And when they were talking about concern that should be addressed, and they said, for them, it's a constitutional right or movement, stuff of couldn't get to us, so even use it for all the rest of it. It was so terrible. Very terrible. 200 or 300 drugs. They know what is in it and what is in it. Say that although it is there, they know it. So it is thankfully then that they were able to go after themselves. So we went back to 2021, 2022. A conversation between somebody who you might really know whether they are drug pusher or so and to bring in the country. But it's fishing from an end, they see what is happening. See what is happening. That is finding this that is great across this country that our former president is now international. That is great across this country. It's just in line with what the prophet said for Nigeria. If people are confused,
I mean, breaking entirely the line. You're
The line is
breaking.
coming distorted. So we can continue with
We can
this.
continue. You call back later on.
Let's take this next person here. Hello. Yeah. Why?
Yeah, good morning, man.
In the country, we commonly have in this country, we don't want to keep in this country hard because one thing in common man can commit crime. But someone who get money and because it's certain position before, you can commit crime, putting your life on the line for the point there, you put a life on that for the line for you. The same way we would be in this country with the government in power, the government in power, when one person want to prosecute, but no government will start protecting you. Now with ongoing people, we not trust we not trust even the immigration department, which are not security sector in this country. Let the government go outside and go be a national investigator. Now they are going to listen to us. They have radiation and food security and whatsoever, and they have to go to UK, they send out. Now they have to in this process. People are linked to nobody sees no one is guilty or is not guilty. People are linked to the thing, they are inviting them to the police station. The way they some question, they will get all the money in number. Yes, all the money you know. I think so that they want to they want to be together. They want to be together.
Thank you.
Thank you. 07701313118.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning. Women. No, oh, Seku. Make a point, Seku.
Especially if you be alleged. Even if there is no dignity. To be whosoever to go after. But once it is we'll keep on saying for the legal party and we'll keep on saying, they just will be the country before President Parker take down. Then on that for God's sake, where those jobs pass, they say that they comment, but when one thing will ask them that you see the jobs, the only that they can see the jobs when you went to export the jobs, the only that they can see it. When the people asking for BBS, go draw out that BBS, in that government, former government official. Okay, that's the end that they are asking for the government showing their own people. If they can say they'll come to the Senate, then they will when they come to the Senate, then they will have them for government. But nobody will be sure because they need a class that they need to be sure. You'll be sure. Because they trust in what they country here. That's what yesterday, another one, that was looking at trusting for trust. So all the outside the country that here to do something like trust, then the dispute in the
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Back to this person. Hello. Stay far away from your monitor.
Off the mic. Off the mic off.
Yeah, hello, go ahead.
Yeah, I will make a point, Chief. But all right, yeah, why I would all right.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll hear you.
take more calls, Musa.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, good morning, Princess. Teresa. All right, Teresa, make a point, Teresa.
Quickly, please.
Well, today, Matthew calling thing a bit lying. That's why you like whoever always there.
All right, Teresa, we'll move you there. We have to take other people. So hello.
Yeah, Josiah, how are you? Yeah.
Thank you. Let's
Thank you,
take the
Josiah.
next person. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead. Your name, please.
Your name and where you calling from, and speak to the issue, please. Yeah. And this is the it is because the man passing by a runner.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Hello. Please call your name and tell us where you join us from.
Patient. There is
All right, patient. Let's get other people. Let's get other people the chance to make their point. Patient. Let's get other people. Hello.
Take more calls. But about make a point about for Roman, man. Yeah, back will be here by Monday. Yeah.
So if people speaking English on the radio, you can change your system. If you are for their if we all are doing something, you put it
And a coordination there, a coordination. They happy you. They happy you. Mm. All right, thank you. Take more calls, Musa. Take more calls. Yes. Hello, your name and where you calling from? Johnsonville. Make a point, Chief. Mm. But the drug business should never be on the basis of party sentiment.
When Porky went to when he president Porky group his whole car. Porky so if this guy's gonna say that some position so Porky shot to the so
But hey, hello. Yesterday, Clarence Jackson, Clarence Jackson wrote formally the U.S. Embassy near Monrovia with the clear intention of inquiring as to whether the U.S. government is aware that they have foreign investigators who come from the U.S. or who came from the U.S. Who are here to help with the investigation. Then you are saying otherwise. How do you reconcile these two statements? All right, let me read. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So this is what OKFM. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. We take that course. The U.S. Embassy. Yeah, just hold on. Hold on. What's that? The U.S. Embassy in Liberia. The U.S. Embassy in Liberia has confirmed that the United States government is assisting and supporting Liberia's ongoing investigation into the movement of illicit substances in the region, in the country and the region. A confirmation was contained in an official response from the embassy following an inquiry by OKFM station manager Clarence Jackson. The response conveyed through the embassy public affairs section said the U.S. government will continue to assist and support the Liberian government as it investigates the movement of illicit substances. The embassy position signals continued U.S. cooperation with Liberian authorities in efforts to address illicit drug trafficking and related activity. The confirmation comes amid heightened security scrutiny over alleged international drug trafficking activities involving Liberia. U.S. support is expected to strengthen ongoing efforts by Liberian security and law enforcement institutions to investigate and disrupt illicit drug network. So what's not clear here is this: if the U.S. government is talking about specific, existence extended to the government of Liberia in the quest, to help with the ongoing investigation, the U.S. embassy needs to what? The U.S. embassy, you cannot entirely say that the assistant the U.S. embassy is talking about does not in any way mean that there, the U.S. security delegations aren't on ground. You can't entirely say assistant, could be having, it could be having U.S. personnel, security personnel on ground. Another assistant could be providing financial support. So in this particular case, the U.S. government needs to emphatically explain what sort of assistance are they talking about, because others are doubting that and doubting the information that the U.S. The U.S. government has not dispatched a team of security officers to aid with the investigation. At this particular point, there need to be a clarity for people to understand, what sort of assistance is the U.S. government talking about? Is the embassy talking about? Because a system is, a system is broad. A system is broad, So in a context where Liberians are still wondering with the kind of a system being mentioned specifically by the public affairs section of the U.S. Embassy, the need for a more clearer understanding to be attached so that people get to understand specifically what kind of a systems, is the U.S. government talking about. Yeah, so take the call. 07, yeah, hello? Hello? I'll make a point, Chief. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, and this is what hello, 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 hello. Yeah, and this is why we said very emphatically. This is why we said very emphatically that all of the charges against the former vice president does not amount to guilt. Does not amount
to guilt.
Mm. Yeah, and I agree with you. Mm. Hello, hello, hello. Are you a member of the National Patriotic Party? Are you a member of the National Patriotic Party? Or you are a supporter of Taylor? Okay, just make a point. Let him go.
Quickly.
And from the onset, we said it was unprofessional. This is why we turned the initial effort made by the police as unprofessional.
All right, thank you. Let's hold you there. Let's take this next person.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, good morning. Your name and why you calling for, Chief? I make a point, Peter. Who accused her? Who accused the foreign minister? Man, who accused the, but when you provide information, hey, listen.
You have to be very clear when you come out with information. What is that media?
Listen, the government has consistently said if at all you have information linking any one of the government officials to this drug issue, provide the information. The media institution, the media, listen. The media institution you are referencing, why is it that if all they have the evidence against the foreign minister, why they can't aid with the investigation? Listen now, listen. We are not saying all of the charges leveled against the vice president, amount to guilt. We are saying that the former vice president is still innocent until all of those charges. And listen now. I don't think you have been following the conversation from the onset. I don't think you have been following the conversation from the onset. Hello. I don't think you have been following the conversation from the onset, because if you were following from the onset, we said we support a holistic investigation, not on the basis of cherry picking. This is what we say, and we continue to maintain our position. Listen, under the law, the police has right to investigate anybody.
So thank you for making your point there. Let's take this next person. Hello, callers, tell us anywhere you join us from.
I will make a point here, Chief.
In the instant case of election, international monitor vote, and the fact that you have a right into it. So that is one thing. The second thing is the issue as it relates against the former vice president. You guys were actually I will allow you people to request for the hospital, no chances. Why? The explanation provided from tier one from that for the investigation, the statement, and with your statement, the an accuser. That means the defendant occurred. This is occurred in 2018. Law was in effect in 2024. Go back because the law cannot go back. Two, if the issues on ground that they were 10.some million not what they call you cannot go way back and communicate to what they had a communication or discussion with somebody. What was the discussion? What was the intent? Is the person is the person moving? And now the group of people who can legitimate. You just said some journalism is just in the country. So I recommend that one of our culture. The God of our culture machinery. That is not in the law today. That you get to the council as such system.
All right, thank you. Thank you. All right. We make effort to get a primary you spoke about. Hello, Josiah, how are you? Sorry, man, we kept you on the line for long, man. Josiah, those are allegations. Those are allegations about. But thank you. But thank you. Let me read it. This is a very critical statement. Issued by EPS Director Sam Gay. Fellow Liberians, hold on. We will take your call.
We'll take your call.
Hold on. It's an EPS Director. The elite presidential guy security in the country. They call it EPS, Executive Protection Service. They are the one who provides security for the president and other very important persons in the country or personalities in the country. So this is why EPS Director wrote. He said, when you live in a culture of impunity, the investigation and arrest of a high-profile person are unimaginable. Unfortunately and sadly, law enforcement officials become public enemy number one. Okay. The Inspector General of Police spearheaded the infamous Capitol Hill action investigation, which led to charges against high-profile lawmakers. The case remains pending. The IG is currently leading a major transnational narcotics investigation in which, for the first time in our nation history, government actors, including a former vice president, have been charged. The IG has become public enemy number one for doing his job. The IG took an oath to enforce the law without fear or favor and without mental reservation. Anything short of that could be tantamount to dereliction of duty. The IG has a choice: succumb to public pressure and blackmail, or stay the course. He is undeterred. The good news is the person who appointed him to this difficult task has a complete and total confidence in his ability to stay the course. History with George, all of us, Mr. IG, Godspeed. So this EPS director rather, Sam Gay is putting up a defense for Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman, especially at the time where vast majority of the people in the country, many Liberians in the country say, gave him several other officers who have made allegations, who have made revelations that directly link the Police Inspector General, including the most recent accusation against, made by Mountain Colley, which Mountain to a larger extent is calling for the recusal or the dismissal or resignation of the Police Inspector General. This is at the time where EPS Director Sam Gay is saying that has issued this particular statement in defense. They say the man, giving the impunity, the culture of impunity in the country.
But Lando, who is creating the culture of impunity? That should be the question.
That should be the question. That's a critical question to ask.
But in fact, if Sam Gay is citing the issues about the Ison,
the Ison trial,
and also talking about
Ison trial, which many Liberians too are looking up to. They are looking up to. This particular case has not been fully determined with regard to the nature associated with it. Moreover, the number of people, high-profile government officials who have been involved in a case.
So what becomes of some of those government officials of the ruling Unity Party government that was being accused of some allegations, but specifically talking about the issues about rape? There was a government officials involved in rape, and nothing come out of it. So who is creating the society of impunity? That's the question.
But let's take call and let's take both calls. 0000. Hello. Yeah. Your name and where you calling for, Chief? Vanny Kiari, make a point, Kiari. Yeah, Barkley, he's down with cold, not a major health issue, but he's down with cold. right, thank you. Let's take another one. We must take more calls. Let's take more calls. Hello, hello. Your name and where you calling from, Chief?
Thank you. This was a Prince.
Prince.
So let me go from the easier first. It's just like you said, majority of the city, you know, it's just a portion and just a immune portion of some of our guys that against the whole investigation. And I told somebody, for me, I'm so disappointed by one of my best lawyer to be always person of reason. You can tell me
who is that? Who is that?
Yes, so he's the lawyer of this former president. And I'm saying being controversial in the sense that represent there's no saga when you are speaker when you were remove me. And these lawyers are some or from the former associate justice that was speaking against the manner in form in which those representatives were getting against senators representatives. No, I understand. But can you imagine the same way the same action the representative was taking that he was against? So was the same action the other representative was taking against Fanati Kuba, and he was then but taking as a key order tool for those people that were carrying on as government. So the same thing with different action when you don't the things they were wrong when you have your hand no contact that you put it in what it's right. It's wrong. If you want to deal with what you know, and then you want to deal with it for what?
The man are lawyer. The man looking for a daily brother, man. My man, now the issue there. The man looking for the lawyers will always defend their client. That about it. Yeah, lawyer like that, they will always defend their client, my man. Now, I agree with you on that one. All right, thank you, Chief. Let's take another one. Hello, your name and where you calling for, Chief? I will make a point, Chief.
in the West Africa. Send them in this country from we all go. What is my
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Let's take more calls. Yeah, good morning, Princess. How are you?
Good morning.
Musa.
Yes, yes.
The man said the high of most people are doubting. Most people are doubting the presence of an independent investigator. They say
All right,
thank you. Let's take more calls. Yeah, hello, your name and why you calling for chief? Yeah, make a point. Make a point, chief. This is Lyndon. Back there isn't here.
The person the one will get the the government will tell you local people that they tell. God so the government will get. But get again the complaining. The government will show you. Back in the take a little girl. But yeah, I can move on. So they can't get that why it's there. So you can talk for me all the time. You can know the best. But it says me.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. Let's hold you there. Hello?
Your name and why you calling for chief? Sign who? All right, sign. Let's go. Make a point.
you go to Donkey, it is that you want, or to the that you want to for him. The people happen to you. The one that you see them brother, like the of you. You come to him, so for them, after that problem with them. Is that what happened? Every day of
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's read it.
Hello. Yeah. Oh, our patient, how are you? Sorry. The line has been busy at time. But make a point.
Go ahead.
That is what we ourselves we are interested in, you know.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
She slipped up the line.
Yeah, she's still. Patient, if you are there, you can call back to make your point, please. Hello. Yeah. Good morning. Your name and where you calling from? Make a point.
After charging you up, so we are not feeling on the outside company. We are not
Hello. We are not discussing the Arson case here. Have you been following the conversation? Thank you. Let's take more calls. By 10 o'clock, we'll be taking a break. We'll come back. We talk, about what expelled Montreal County District 10 representative said. Hello. Your name and where you calling for, Chief? You want to make a point, Chief? Yeah. Obviously, we read what he wrote. We actually read what he wrote. What he wrote. Mhm. So what many, hello, yeah, what many Liberians are concerned about, they want to know, they want to know from a clearer picture. If the U.S. embassy talks about existing, they said that they have, they have investigator on ground who are working with domestic, our own security to assist the investigation. What kind of assistance are they talking about? That's what many Liberians are concerned about.
Okay, but you don't think security cannot disclose that. You know that.
I'm not a security personnel, so most Liberian think that need to be.
Disclose that. They will not believe that. They will not tell you the details from the person on ground. You know, they will not do that.
All right.
So now, with the issue of I want the public to know when it comes to drug leaders and suspect arrest. There is no fire, what a former or informal located aspect. You can figure that drug and any kind of drug related offenses. So let the public know this. So where you were, you educate me on where or drug related suspect were before they were arrested. No, you can even if you are taking person, you can pick up a problem as a suspect. Okay? Now, but I'm sure how involvement in drug issues, how to do. And the crew we're getting, she is linked to establishing one of the drug cartels that is being Marshall. Hello?
Yeah, we're getting you. Those are the allegations that to a larger extent flooded the social media and so forth. But anyway, yeah, but make your point, Chief.
Yeah, so that's what we get. She helped in bringing in some investors who said they wanted to do cocoa business in the agricultural sector. They wanted to get to know that they are doing cocoa business, but it's situated along the people there doing drugs. Administration, they were being protected by the security. And that's the link I think she has been involved. And I think the government will be able to establish for involvement. And let people know this. Nowhere in the world, drugs, okay, we just be, like I said, the people go to the way drugs, investigation, just take it to the public. Nowhere in the world is happening. But the public think that the investigation should go the way it is. No, it's not possible. Investigation leads, somebody like, the president, they say the government. What if the investigator has not established horrible link to pick up the president's son? What if the investigator has established link to pick up the former vice president? So people make comparison, email privilege, and just to come to where we think we do everything, but we might not know. Okay?
Thank you.
People challenge professional people work. Where they didn't even know that left or right, but they challenge what professional people are doing.
All right, thank you, Chief.
Thank you. Let's take this person. Hello.
Hello, your name and where you calling from? Yeah, good morning. I will make a point, Chief. right, thank you, Abu. All right, thank you, Abu. The clarity is important, you know. Let's take more call. Hello. Yeah, good morning. Your name, why you calling for, Chief? This is Lyndon. How are you, Chief? All right, make your point, Chief. All right.
What I want to say before I talk about the current issue of life, and so if it is at some point, he was not just talking because I want to change this concept. Research about it. Just the issue with the bad president. What I'm saying, bad president is or the just the minister spread charges against her. She claims innocent until you want to vote and government accused that give evidence against her. If something is done and she's still not to be held lying, which will go free. But this government is not in the business of arresting people simply because you have been accused or you have been doing so. It let us all know that the president, this government, I don't think this government will just after the president simply because she didn't want to go after there's a list. So I believe that this government all has to together to all in peace and add everything that is an issue until you bring
All right, thank you.
So I don't want people on the other side to think that
Thank you. Let's hold you there.
I will take you.
Let's hold you there. Let's take this next person here. Hello.
Hello. 0770-131318-08627. Let's take this one.
Hello. Yeah, tell us anywhere you join us from.
Okay. Yeah, make a point, Chief. Put it on loudspeaker.
If somebody happens to let's say kill somebody, then somebody say before the man say talk to this man or avoid him or it's a professional investigation.
Yeah,
All right, thank you.
all right, let me read what land criminal lawyer, Counselor Arthur Johnson wrote. You know, let me read for you verbatimly what a criminal lawyer, Arthur Johnson, Counselor Arthur Johnson wrote. He said, Fitzgerald T.M. Biago, former officers in charge of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, was a victim of rush to judgment. Rush to judgment. That's what he said.
Rush to judgment.
Yeah. I helped train former officers in charge Fitzgerald Biago as a criminal justice practitioner during his undergraduate studies. He is currently a graduate student at the Graduate School of Criminal Justice Administration and Professional Studies at AME Zion University. The man is far from ethical transgression because I know him personally. With my 27 years of experience in criminal justice, I stand by what I am saying. His dismissal was rushed to judgment. Anyway, Mr. Foreman, OIC, thank you for the vision you brought to the LGA to subject all of your special agents to professional specialized training in criminal investigation, drug crime investigation, rules of evidence in evidence gathering and handling, investigative report writing, investigative procedures on Liberian criminal procedure law and constitution, intelligence sharing, use of force in the criminal justice system, case file management and court presentation, constitutional safeguard regulation, and investigative processes, all through the Graduate School of Criminal Justice and Professional Study at AME Zion. I hope that all of your colleagues will follow this dream in their respective security agency for the purpose of achieving professional efficiency. So, Councillor Arthur Johnson said the decision specifically from the executive action of the president to have to have dismissed officers in charge of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency was squarely on the basis of rush to judgment. They did not take much time to do a thorough investigations of the circumstances, leading towards the dismissal of officers in charge of the Liberian National. Remember, Fitzgerald was accused of allegedly receiving, pickups from a member of the cartel who is facing charges of, drug-related charges, who is on an investigation for drug-related charges, and based on public outcry and public pressure, is that they wrote the Ministry of Justice and said, I need to recuse myself because I think to a larger extent, in order to allow the investigation to move on, I need to recuse myself and all of things. So Arthur Johnson, a renowned a respected criminal lawyer in Liberia, is saying that he has been knowing this man, and to some extent, he helped to train Fitzgerald Biago. He believes that the judge, the decision taken by the president of the Republic of Liberia to dismiss Fitzgerald Biago was a rush to judgment. So that is what land human rights lawyer Counselor Arthur Johnson has said. So folks, We will take calls, but we want to take our break, and after which, when we come back, we talk some very critical issues, and then we take your calls. Let's take this one.
The people that used to sell Mary Maga tea medicine all over in Lofa, Niba, and all of Bond counties. The people finally.
Okay.
7 years going up and down, no way. When I hear about you, I go to Oya about the menacing concern. I this menacing. I feeling healthy that they were before. So my people who listen to me, the menacing that good menacing, that make me to be alive today. God, the first, second, this menacing. So what kinds of segment you are suffering from? Food problem. Oh, yes, my food problem. Lord, I was working. You said 7 years, okay, thank you. You are welcome. And where now?
Rush now and buy this medicine, Marie Maga tea.
For more information, contact us on the following numbers: 0887 316666 and 0777 4445 91.
So rush now and you will live happily.
All right, fellow Liberians, welcome back. Welcome back to the program. It was urgent. It was very important that we go to take a commercial break. So, folks, do you have the clip there now?
Yeah.
You can play it. This is from expelled Montserrat County District 10 Representative Yeke Kaluba. This is what he has to say. He spoke on he spoke on his own talk specifically and about giving his view about President Weah's position, to call for a rallying of Liberians, reacting to former President Weah's stand, with regard to rallying Liberians to demand greater accountability from the Black Icon government. This is what expelled Representative Yeke Kaluba said.
When the team are coming, I told them up the week before last, when the team was talking for the team, the team said it will be embarrassing and the topic for job. Last today, former president Wami Sira talk about rally. According to my source in the Trinabono, like giving all the information to the government. Trinabono told the government how those buildings opposite the Jamaican resource was built by those cartels. They got this Sira now, right? Trinabono free getting the government according to my soul. Everything about George Weah because Trinabono said according to my soul that she got money for job Weah and job Weah had ransed you up for it. It was former President Weah that told the government about her situation. So that's the point between them. And our person was patient today. Set up the book on serious position in the country. All of them have been position. The NSL movement is on serious man, very, very on serious. The Musa Pelete is on serious. The former president Weah is on serious. All of them are serious. And now they want to be serious. I get the point I will let you follow. In the rally, when I come to my place, I'm just setting up my team. I leave for your Friday to go for my tour in those three countries. I come back, I go Saturday for my program.
All right, so I have some fundamental disagreement with expelled Montserrat County District 10 representative with some of the things some of the words he used on leaders of the country, leaders, current leaders, former leaders, and other things. Most of what he said, those are allegations, which cannot be verified or has not yet been verified by him. It is unclear as to whether Finabono is the one providing information to the government.
It's unclear.
It's unclear. It is not certain as to whether the former chief of protocol, Finabono, has been accused by Representative Yeke from expelled Montserrat County District 10 Representative Yeke Kaluba is the one providing all of the information. I believe the government, through the security apparatus, have the ability to gather information about the particular drug situations in the country. So
the entire situations involving the former vice president, of the country should not, like we have always emphasized, it should never be seen on the basis of a political line. You know, now with all of the charges levied against the former vice president, you know, we wish the former vice president well, speedy recovery. We are, we are hoping that the former vice president of the country can be able to recover. You know, according to her party chairman, says she had, she been having, medical complications. She been battling medical complications, specifically asthma. He said, I'm not the one who's saying it. I'm not a medical personnel. I have never interacted medically with the former vice president. So people who over time have interacted with the former vice president, they are the ones saying it. But the fact that the former vice president is facing charges of very grave charges about money laundering, drug in the country, and all things, I'm not going to be pessimistic about the former vice president. I wish her well. I wish her well. I believe that she should get recover speedily so that she can be able to face charges. Face charges, those charges against her. She should be able to face charges against her. It is very important that the former vice president be. If we are to achieve, people should be held accountable. Most of the information, I don't want to, if the government is actually, I hope the government has, the government should be in a position to present the facts, to the people. Because if you levy all of these charges against the former vice president, and the government is unable to adduce the requisite pieces of evidence that will slam down a guilty verdict against the former vice president, it is going to ignite another debate. The former vice president still remain innocent despite all of the charges levied against her by the state security institution. So the allegation made by Representative Yekakoloba, this is something that cannot be, that if Yekakoloba can prove it, because I don't know for what reason, he speaks in a form and manner that, that is totally emotional. Sometimes he makes a lot of wild allegations. He's not only with this government, but several other governments in the Wiatila administration. He did it, and he wasn't, to a larger extent condemned. So I believe now the folks in the Unity Party, they don't have the moral rectitude to condemn, expel Representative Yekakoloba. The fact that they were unable to condemn, they celebrated most of the things Yekakoloba said from the onset and the form and manner in which he spoke to issues in the country at the time. And they were celebrating it, they were happy about it, they were so much excited, and many of them termed Representative Yekakoloba, at the time Representative Yekakoloba as the hero. I don't think they have the moral rectitude to talk about, to talk about Yekakoloba refining his political engagement again or his outbursts, because I think to a larger extent, Yekakoloba is just the kind of man who is so much fixated with using very, very harsh languages, So let's take call 0770131318 at 0770131318 at 086272620. 0770131318. Let's take. We don't have much time, and we just take one minute to a call.
Hello.
Hello, caller, your name and where you calling from? Make your point. Yeah, but you said make a thought on the issue too.
So then, thank you very much for, you know, Mr. Corwin, your man, I think in every society as it is, don't come forward with you. You know, everybody think of their point. They want to people and they want to believe. Maybe you don't really want to say, but even for that matter, go with the master. I got to take from something for the form of VP, you know, for the bonus. It's up to the Liberians to do the effort and look into the investigation of the statement that he used. The key will be the best one to choose. So be it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Let's take another 1 minute to a call. Yeah, good morning. Your name and where you calling from, Chief? Self-proclaimed. All right, all right, all right.
I think sort of a Cordoba, this is something that we need to look at carefully. This is what they want to divide, they want to talk. And so then, sort of a Cordoba, I'm seeing these activities from growing, sensitive information coming up. CDC has to take part. And that's the reason why I'm saying that there's no opposition. One of the things as the government is about when there's a drop. And they should not be which one issue. When there's sufficient evidence upon which the government can track on to over you, because of all you. And so they will give the government chance to dismantle the government chance to find out what people in this country. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Let's take 1 minute to a call. Hello? Yeah, your name and where you calling from, Chief?
Why? I put you 1 minute.
Make your point, Chief. So do you believe that she is on a betrayal move now, right? All right, thank you. Let's take another one. Yeah, good morning. Your name and where you calling from, Chief? Yeah, make a point, Chief. Yeah, make a point. All right, thank you. Your 1 minute up. All right, thank
Thank you. Who you there? Who you there?
Yeah, hello. Your name and where you calling from? All right.
Why? 1 minute.
How are you? Power is dynamic.
People who are very authority, and we know how to use their power, and we know how to end up. Now, when we want to create this drug, and we say we want to create it for Ellie Johnson Selling, we should be creating it for Ellie Johnson Selling at the time to set him up for the Now, we shall come put in this party around. What we have other shows coming up. What is the justice system doing? We want to put this country in chaos and we came from a long way, some of us. We came from a long way, and we don't want this country going the way it is going.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We take 4 more calls. Hello. 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 Your name and where you calling from? Move away from your monitor. Every time we talk the wrong thing. Let's take another call, please. Hello. Yeah, your name and where you calling from, Chief?
I'm coming in this pocket.
You see, God has left the land. In support of it, 8%. As a ruling party of government, when you're seated in power, you have to read beyond the land. The current president will want a vice president. All the things that were signed that through this country back. The excuses was he was all got back in the garage. Then your new country. You have to be careful along with your officials. Most of people today that disgracing people, no more is denied. Everyone need for the drugstore. You waited on this country. All calm down. However, the way the man in which they are you see, today now, I'm going to the bomb because on the back, the house you can call back.